Chief Justice of India (CJI) S.A. Bobde on Thursday orally remarked that a September 2018 judgment of the Supreme Court allowing menstruating women to worship at the Sabarimala temple may, at the moment, not be the last word, as the issue has been referred to a larger bench of 7 judges. On November 14 last, a constitution bench of 5 judges, sitting in review of the September 2018 verdict, in a majority judgment, did not specifically decide the issue of entry of women aged between 10 and 50 years into the temple. The majority view was silent on the legality of women's entry into the temple. Instead, it framed larger questions on the debate of women's equal right to worship versus the right to faith and customs and referred them to a 7-judge bench. The majority judgment also did not specifically stay the September 2018 verdict. Also read: 7.7 lakh pilgrims visit Sabarimala. 7.7 lakh pilgrims visit Sabarimala. On Thursday, Kerala-based Bindu Ammini, who is aged below 50, urged the court to direct the police to provide her protection to visit the temple. Represented by senior advocate Indira Jaising and advocate Prashant Padmanabhan, she said she was attacked by certain individuals for attempting to undertake the pilgrimage. Ms. Jaising said the police had washed their hands of her client and refused protection. Her client was well within her rights to visit the temple on the strength of the September 2018 judgment. But that is not the last word. It has been referred to a larger bench, the CJI responded. Ms. Jaising said the September 2018 judgment was the decision of a constitution bench, and it was indeed the final word in the issue. She asked the CJI to list her plea on an early date as the temple would soon close. This is not a temple that is open all through the year, she submitted. The CJI, who initially agreed to post the plea after the winter vacations, finally acquiesced to hear it along with a similar petition filed by Rahana Fatima, who has also sought police protection for her proposed visit to the temple. Ms. Fatima's plea is likely to be listed next week. Ms. Bindu's application may also come up for hearing all along with it. Ms. Bindu has accused the Kerala government of giving a free hand to unlawful elements to harass and attack women aged between 10 and 50 years en route to worship at the temple. She noted that the 2018 judgment had not been stayed in review and Kerala was acting in gross contempt of the court's decision to allow entry to women of menstruating age. She asked the court to direct Kerala to respect, fulfill and protect the rights of all women regardless of age to enter the Sabarimala temple without hindrance in any manner whatsoever and, in particular, by preventing the unruly mobs or individuals from obstructing them from entering the temple. A special court on Thursday declared absconding diamantaire Nirav Modi, prime accused in the Punjab National Bank scam, a fugitive economic offender (FAO). The declaration allows the government to initiate action to confiscate the offender's properties. On January 5, Vijay Mallya became the first FAO under the new Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. The Enforcement Directorate (ED) had filed an application on July 10, 2018, seeking to declare him an FAO. Modi said, the motivation for the prosecution by PNB is a. The desire of the bank, the complainant, to avoid its liability towards its co-bankers, b. to put the blame on previous actions by present management to avoid any criticism regarding poor financial performance by PNB Bank. Nirav Modi and his uncle Mehul Choksi are the prime accused in the PNB fraud case, related to alleged fraudulent issuance of letters of undertaking that caused a loss of over $2 billion to the public sector bank. Nirav Modi was earlier arrested in London and his extradition process is pending. The 48-year-old had moved yet another bail application last month with an unprecedented house arrest guarantee, akin to those imposed on terrorist suspects, as well as citing mental health issues from being behind bars at Wandsworth Prison in southwest London since his arrest in March. But the bail plea was turned down by Chief Magistrate M.R. Arbuthnot over continued fears of witness intimidation and failure to surrender before the court for his extradition trial in May 2020. The past is a prediction of what might happen in the future, Judge Arbuthnot said at the last hearing on November 6. The UK's Crown Prosecution Service (CPS), which represents the Indian government in the extradition proceedings, said there is no further prospect of an appeal for bail in a higher court as the UK High Court has already turned down Nirav Modi's plea earlier this year. You only get to go once and can't keep appealing over and over, a CPS spokesperson said. With inputs from PTI. The Monetary Policy Committee (MPC) of the Reserve Bank of India (RBI) decided to keep the interest rate unchanged at 5.15% in the fifth bi-monthly policy review, citing inflation concerns despite economic growth continuing to slow down. All the 6 members of the MPC voted in favor of keeping the interest rate unchanged. The MPC recognizes that there is monetary policy space for future action. However, given the evolving growth-inflation dynamics, the MPC felt it appropriate to take a pause at this juncture, the RBI said. The central bank decided to maintain the accommodative stance of the policy. The MPC also decided to continue with the accommodative stance as long as it is necessary to revive growth, while ensuring that inflation remains within the target, it said. The market was expecting the central bank to cut interest rates further, for the sixth consecutive time. Inflation forecast had been raised to 5.1 to 4.7% for H2, 2019-20 and 4.0 to 3.8% for H1, 2020-21, with risks broadly balanced, the RBI said. In October, CPI inflation was projected at 3.5 to 3.7% for H2, 2019-20 and 3.6% for Q1, 2020-21. Growth forecast for the current financial year was revised downward sharply, from 6.1% projected in October policy to 5%.